Welcome back. This is Everyday Economics. It's the podcast that helps you understand the economic world happening around all of us. Everyday Economics is brought to you by the Center Square Newswire service. I'm Chris Krug, and I'm publisher of the Center Square. This other guy over here, that's Dr. Orphe Divounguy. He's my partner, and he's a PhD economist. I like to ask him a lot of questions about crazy stuff. Today is Monday, December 15th, 2025. This is the third of three episodes that we're taping today. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the state of the housing industry. We'll come back next week and we'll talk about forecasts for 2026. But we want to take a look at it in the moment. I noticed I'm like such a nerd for Freddie Mac. I've got to check in and make sure that everybody over there is doing okay, and that their rates are still good. The rates, I mean, given the fact that, and before you tell me it's all priced in and everybody knows where this is going before it happens, I mean, I really thought we would see a little bit of positive movement for the consumer on rates. 30-year fixed mortgages nationally averaged at Freddie Mac, sitting at 6.22%. 15-year mortgages, if you could make that happen, is at 5.54%. I've yet to see a rate for the 50-year mortgage, which I don't think is coming. In this moment, housing data has not really been too terribly affected by federal data. That there are plenty of people in and around the real estate industry who have access to numbers, facts, and figures. Esoterically, as someone who just looks at real estate a lot and dreams about the day that he gets to move out of Illinois, I look at houses in different markets, and it seems like I'm seeing some things that are sitting. Upper price category properties seem to be sitting. I'm seeing houses that I know I've seen before, so I'm having deja vu because I looked at them a month or two ago, or maybe in the summer, and they're back, and then they appear as a new listing. So there's some stuff that's going on. It seems like I'm also, anecdotally, I'm getting more messaging from my friends in the real estate and mortgage lending business, just checking in on me, asking me how I'm doing, which I appreciate it. The wellness checks are always.
Are you ready to list your own for sale?
I'll tell you, we're about to that point in terms of directness from some of them, but I am not. I was ready to do that, and I will be ready to do that at some point. But in this very moment, I'm actually gonna appreciate the fact that I get to stay home for a couple of weeks in a row, which will be nice. All right, so what's going on in the industry, man? I mean, shoot me straight. I mean, are houses moving? Are they not moving? What's the problem?
I mean, look, it's the middle of the winter. Just go outside.
We're gonna jump right back into seasonality. Come on,
go shopping for homes right now.
I get it. So people aren't moving around. The economy's somewhat slowed down. You have folks that don't want to give up a job to take another job for like money. So, you don't have what we had during COVID where all of a sudden.
Well, I mean, that's if there are any jobs, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I think before we even get to that, I think the point about that seasonality point is a critical component here. The housing market tends to slow in the winter months. We got a little pickup late summer because ahead of the Fed rate cuts, mortgage rates dropped somewhat.
Yep.
We got a little pickup in activity. And then in November, things just went back to normal, which is basically a cooling in both the number of buyers coming on the market, the number of sellers coming on the market. And so, this is the winter. Things cool down in the housing market. Home stays stay on the market a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Not necessarily the best time to list your home for sale, right? And so a lot of sellers, potential sellers, are just going to wait this out and come back in the early spring.
You've said before that the biggest difference, because you go out into the world of YouTubian economists and economist wannabes and real estate market experts and that whole whatever that is, there's a lot of doomsaying going on right now about the housing industry. I mean, it really one of the bigger fundamentals that has been persistent and remains an issue is that there aren't enough houses for people that want houses in the United States. Of course, the word affordability has become like zeitgeist, in the current lexicon, and there is a question about what it takes to buy the kind of house. Houses are, bigger than the houses that your parents grew you up in and were grown up in by your grandparents, which I think also skews some of the thinking about like actual affordability of homes. Um, but I guess like where I'm headed with that is how bad is it? Is it bad? Is it not bad? I mean, I mean, is it any worse than it's ever been, or are we just seeing a housing industry that is kind of, like floating along with the reality of the people within the economy?
I mean, it's if you want to talk about the year 2025, not the season, because we know the season's slow.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about the year, affordability remains challenged. The
Mm-hmm.
labor market has cooled.
Mm-hmm.
And so residential mobility has been pretty sluggish.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are moving, right? You look at rent growth is also cooling. Price growth, home values are flat on the year-over-year basis. Uh, yeah, so it doesn't look good. However, affordability actually improved a little bit compared to last year,
It's interesting.
right? And you
On
got
what
to
side of the
realize
equation are prices down slightly
mortgage
or?
rate. And the combination of the drop in mortgage rates and the fact
Uh-huh.
that prices did not rise. In fact, price growth is cooling.
Yeah.
And income growth has remained pretty steady, right? It's cooled a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, but less. And so you put all those things together, and that means affordability has actually improved a little bit.
I don't like it though as a homeowner when my zestimate starts to turn in the opposite direction. It kind of bothers me. I got to be honest with you.
I hear you. I hear you. And in fact, I think Zillow has a report out that shows that the majority, something like 70 or 80% of homes lost value in 2025,
Things
right?
were a little bit pumped up though. It's like I get it. With inflation and I live in a part of the world where frankly my home value doesn't go ballistic like it does in some markets.
Yeah,
It's kind
yeah,
of a somewhat steady Betty. The housing downturn was, I'll tell you, it was really stark. That was bad. It took us 5, 6 years to get fully
yeah.
back to sort of something that looked like the number that I had paid for the property that I bought in 2004. So, I had 8 years of, what amounted to be like a pretty deep U-shaped recovery. I wasn't selling, so it wasn't really a critical issue, but I was monitoring. The last few years, the numbers really, really taken off. Really, really taken off. And now it seems like things have just kind of, I want to say that they really have gone down drastically.
Yeah.
But there's been a leveling off that like we've reached it feels like we've reached some point of like equilibrium. Is that a fair
Not,
way to look at it?
yeah, in fact, I gave a presentation about that today. Somewhat.
Okay.
We're not far off. And let me correct the stat earlier. 53% of homes lost their value over the past year, right?
Okay.
According to the uh, to the Zestimate.
Yeah, I think mine, mine are in that qualifying group. I mean, I just lost a little bit of the pace, in terms of, this market being really, really desirable. So in terms of like now to the end of the year, it's really, really quiet in the industry that you're in. What are the factors or what are the data points that you're looking forward to to kind of put a bow on 2025 for you and your thinking about
Well,
the housing
well,
industry?
I'm not looking for much in 2025. I think we're going to end the year with maybe 4.1 million home sales,
Okay.
uh, existing home sales. I think I'm looking forward to see sales rising faster than new listings in 2026. And
Okay.
what that means is that the recent rise in housing inventory that we've seen is going to be is going to kind of slow down, right? So there will be somewhat of a ceiling in the number of homes for sale because sales will likely rise a bit faster than the flow of homes coming on the for sale market in the first place, right? So you remember when people buy homes, right? They absorb some of that inventory, and so you need to replenish that inventory with new listings.
Yeah.
When
Right.
people putting their homes up for sale, right? But if sales outpace new listings, you're not going to necessarily see a big rise in housing inventory, and you could potentially even see inventory decline a bit. And so that is, and of course, that's problematic in the sense that on one hand, it's good. You start to see the balance restored between in the housing market, right? In the sense that sales and new listings will be somewhat equal.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the bad news is that unless we see a big increase in housing inventory, you're not really going to return to the levels of home sales that you had before the pandemic, where basically home sales were around 5.3 million sales per year. Remember now we're at around 4.1 million home sales. The forecast for 2026 is for home sales to increase by about 5%, roughly end the year roughly at 4.3 million home sales. Still a far cry from the 5.3 million home sales that we saw in 2019, right? So that is kind of what I see. It's going to be a small improvement, but it's not going to be, the levels of activity that we had before the pandemic.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. We're going to come back in a week, or maybe for the final week of the year, and we're going to dig a lot deeper into this, and I'll let you unleash the kraken of knowledge that you have about the industry for the benefit of the audience. But let's call it good. Thanks as always, Dr. O. Make sure you read Orphe's Everyday Economics column every Monday at the Center Square. You can find it at thecentersquare.com.